Could reopen soon, but it will happen in a series of steps and at a pace both Governor Roy Cooper and Henry McMaster are comfortable with.
Yes, we're getting new developments about the coronavirus pandemic by the hour. And here's what you need to know as you get your day started. Late yesterday, President Donald Trump unveiled his guidelines to reopen the country. Part of the decision will be out of his hands. We have learned that it'll be up to each governor on when they want to see their state reopened, and no two states will be the same.
Some states will be able to open up sooner than others. Some states are not in the kind of trouble that others are in.
President Trump also says that he'll be reopening the country in 3 phases. Each phase comes every 14 days and then will slowly allow people to start doing things like gather in larger groups, travel, and then head back to work. And in South Carolina specifically, looks like the end is in sight. At least that's according to the governor. Henry McMaster said that he expects to have the state's economy up and running by the end of June. The governor also said that there is no reason to postpone the June 9th primary. Meanwhile, families all across the Carolinas, they are struggling to feed themselves. This morning in Belmont, the city will transform its downtown area into a food distribution site. Today's event is expected to be huge as families get the help that they really need right now. And reporter Anthony Costora joins us now live from Main Street in Belmont.
Yeah, Anthony, we've covered several local food giveaways across our area, and the need is so widespread.
Right, just as you mentioned, so many people need help right now putting food on their table. And as Brittany mentioned, today the city of Belmont will transform their historic Main Street into a mobile food pantry with the help from several local organizations, including Convoy of Hope. You can see that massive truck here waiting to go. They're going to give out 30,000 pounds of food today, cleaning supplies and other hygiene products as well to people who were maybe recently forced out of work, kids who maybe don't have access to lunch right now, and to our older neighbors, the senior citizens that we've been talking about as well. You can see behind me that these bags are all ready to go. They're ready to be distributed today under that white tent. As Brittany mentioned, again, we expect to see long lines here like we saw in Monroe earlier this week. Dozens of cars and hundreds of people lined up for some relief with those similar essentials. And look at this line of cars at Mount Zion Restoration Church in Gastonia. They supplied more than 11,000 pounds of food for a giveaway there. In its 13 years, the church says they have never seen a response quite like this. And workers at CMS and other school districts across the state continue to bag lunches for families in need. This is video from Pineville Elementary this week. The district served more than 500,000 meals to CMS students over the last month. Of course, this is a need, as you mentioned, that is so widespread right now. The event in Belmont runs from 9 to noon today. They don't want people to show up early, so keep that in mind, but they will have police here to help guide traffic here as they just expect a huge turnout. And again, this begins at 9. And each of the volunteers here will be putting safety first. They're going to be wearing those gloves and they'll be wearing masks, and then they will put all of those items in your trunk when those folks drive up. Blaine?
So glad to hear they're getting another resource out there to get access to food. Thank you so much, Anthony. If you need to find access to food, we've posted a link to local sites and other resources for families on our free WSOC News app. Just look under the latest links.
And this is just heartbreaking. A man says that his great aunt died in a local nursing home and no one told him. That home is dealing with a major coronavirus outbreak, and Ronald Barber's great aunt, Dorothy Cleveland, died at the Citadel in Salisbury on Tuesday. Well, nearly 24 hours later, he says that a funeral director called him about making arrangements.
Mr. Alexander said, Ron, do you need to come up here and make this appointment? I said, make an appointment? I said, he said, did they not tell you Miss Cleveland passed away? I said, no, sir. No, nobody called or anything.
Oh my gosh, it's gut-wrenching. Mr. Barber says that he called the facility several times to speak to the director, but has not been able to talk with them. Channel 9 also called. We have emailed. We're trying to get answers, but so far we have not heard back. That facility has 96 positive cases. And Barber says that he doesn't even know if his great aunt was one of them. Well, nursing homes, they have become a vulnerable target for the pandemic nationwide. Most facilities have had very strict visitor rules for weeks now, but the virus has still made its way in. And a tragic example in New Jersey. This is where police just found 17 bodies inside of one of the state's largest nursing homes. They say the facility was understaffed and overwhelmed. And here in Mecklenburg County, health officials are not disclosing where nursing home outbreaks are occurring. We're continuing to look into this issue. This certainly has angered at least one family member that we spoke to. And reporter Anthony Costora is working on that story for you for our next half hour. And he'll explain why the county says that it won't share that information just ahead.
I want to take a moment now to give you the latest snapshot of where our communities stand in cases of the virus. Mecklenburg County continues to have the most cases across North Carolina with more than 1,000. Across the state, there are more than 300 new cases with a total of 5,400. And there are also 14 more deaths, making a total of 131. But we also want you to see this. Those 5,400 positive cases are really just a fraction of the nearly 71,000 of the people who have been tested. And out of those positive cases, 452 are hospitalized. South Carolina said that there are now more than 3,900 cases statewide, and that includes 149 in York County. Sadly, 109 people have now died. And the virus is enough to worry about, but the damage to our economy is causing more stress in our daily lives.
Yesterday, we broke those new unemployment numbers for you right here on the air. Let's take a look. We found out another 5.2 million Americans filed for unemployment. That means that a total of 22 million people are now unemployed based on those filings in the last month. And now more signs that those job losses are bleeding into the housing market. Construction of new homes collapsed 22% last month, and this as small businesses fight to stay standing. The need for help is just so great that a special lending program for small businesses, it's capped out after approving 1.7 million loans. And economists are not predicting this will let up. In fact, some think that the unemployment rate could go as high as 20% in April. Right now, it is 4.4%. For some comparison, though, even during the Great Recession, unemployment never topped 10%.
In the middle of all of this, locally, there are businesses hiring. Walgreens is hiring several hundred employees across the Charlotte area. Anchor Damani Lewis spoke with their director of talent acquisition, and he says some people have even been hired and they start work on the same day.
The application process through Walgreens is really a very simple one, and it's even easier if you're interested in a temporary job. What you'll want to do is go to jobs.walgreens.com and enter your zip code to find all of the most interesting and applicable jobs for you. And then once you find a job you're interested in and apply, in the sense of a temporary job, it's incredibly quick and shortened. And in fact, we've had people apply in the morning and actually be able to work their first shift at Walgreens later that same afternoon.
That could be a much needed relief for a lot of folks to get those jobs, because Walgreens has full and part-time temporary positions available too.
Yeah, and so many people are also doing what they can to help those workers on the front lines right now.
Yeah, one of them is a Charlotte woman and a Charlotte company with a pretty unique story. Beth Eek's father and uncle started Industrial Electric in the 1950s. She now co-owns the company with other family, and they recently found N95 masks in storage. Look at that. And as they were deciding who to donate the masks to, Tryon Medical Partners and Dr. James Moses Alexander came to mind.
When my parents moved to town and my uncle and his wife Aunt Margaret moved to town, for whatever reason they chose Dr. Alexander as their physician, and he was always spoken very highly of in my family.
And so Beth reached out to her doctor, Dr. Chester Alexander, and the grandson of their parents' physician who works at Tryon Medical Partners.
With the pandemic, there are no known effective treatments. There's things that are being worked on, but it's really about supporting the patient and supporting the families through this. And it's very similar to when my grandfather started practice in the 30s. This was before use of antibiotics. And so there wasn't treatment for a lot of diseases. So it was about treating the patient.
They are now with workers at their satellite locations as they test for COVID-19. Pretty amazing seeing those two family legacies come together. What an amazing